Powered by Riverside International.
Welcome to Human Bubble Podcast, a space where we explore what it truly means to be human. Here we dive into the world of books, art, literature, music, psychology, and philosophy, unrevealing the ideas, emotions, and creativity that shape our existence.
Through deep conversations, thought-provoking insights, and timeless work of genius, we'll journey through the minds of great thinkers, artists, and storytellers, connecting the dots between intellect and emotions, reasons and passions. Whether you're searching for inspiration, wisdom, or just a moment of reflection.
This podcast is your companion on the path to understanding ourselves and the world around us.
So, settle in, open your minds, and let's begin this exploration together.
Yeah, hello, Darkster.
Hey, Nessie, how you
I'm
doing?
good. And you?
Fantastic, and quite excited about our first episode.
Yeah, and let's say that we want to talk about some faithful representation of some novel, but it's only a reason to talk
hmm
about nowadays.
Yeah, exactly. We just want to have a brief conversation about this novel, and through this, we can get to know about what's going on and how people are now and what the desires they have.
Yeah, and the impression you remember, like we talk about that, and you ask me about some book, and
hmm
I started to talk about the story of Emma Bovary, and I
hmm
think you were a little bit excited about it.
A little bit? Are you kidding?
You know, people
I
just
was.
consider like why this novel is so famous. Why in the 19th
Mhm.
century it was so famous a novel because you know it's a as you
Mhm.
know, yeah, it's a realistic novel. So we can say that depict
Yeah,
with a great accuracy the life in a 19th century France.
my yeah, exactly.
So
Actually, like we're in 25, so 2025. I wonder how it was in 19th century.
I think it wasn't so much different than nowadays. I think
Mm-hmm.
people have desires and they are of course representation of their society as well. But you know, our dreams,
Yeah.
our needs are quite the same. I don't think like people change so much.
Mm-hmm. Just the means of ways have changed to get things and technology and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Those things.
So you know, because Emma Bovary, for many critics and even readers, she was even you can judge her like she was not moral person and very far away from morality because she betrayed her husband. And
Yeah.
how do you think like what was her great misery?
Her great misery, I believe she didn't understand the reality of life, and she was in her own world of having this perfect life, perfect. She wanted to be like having a good status. At the same time, she also had a lack of emotion, had a lack of like romanticism, like in her life. She wanted that as well. So since she didn't get it from Charles, so she was on a search for these things,
Mhm. Yeah, exactly.
and she ended up having a relationship with a guy.
Yeah, two guys, Leon, and the second
Yep.
one was Rudolph. I think Leon was
Yep.
quite the first because their first meeting was quite romantic and platonic. It was platonic love, like they
Mm-hmm.
discussed
Like,
about
yeah.
books and about so many things, cultural things, about nature, and all that
Mm-hmm.
romanticism you mentioned. But after that,
Yeah.
she lost her chance because he left. He left
Mm-hmm.
this village and went to Paris. And then after some time, they met again, and there was a real romance. Yeah, and it's about like the role of love and romance. So we can say like Emma's idealized view of love and romance.
Mm-hmm.
And do you think, okay, I want to ask you a question. How the modern
Go
people,
ahead.
okay, so put portraits of love and relationship compared to the realities of romantic partnerships. Are there still unrealistic expectations surrounding love and relationship? How do you think?
Well, I cannot disagree with you. There certainly is some unrealistic expectations from love, but I believe there's a part of people as well who understand they should be not unrealistic, at least be if you like, like her, like Emma.
Mhm.
Emma wanted everything. She didn't understand the reality. Like she could have had a relationship, but not being so wanting everything. Like you can be happy in little things, right? She could have been happier with Leon because Rodolphe was not a person who loved her, but Leon did, right?
That's what I think, yeah. It was like the chance of being together and have a very good life. The chance
Yeah.
was more realistic than with Rudolph, right?
Yeah, Rodolphe wanted just he was just there for
For fun.
satisfying his desires.
Yeah, like people used to say, okay, yeah, for fun, let's meet for fun. It's like that, yeah. I think it's kind of
Yeah,
simple expression, but yeah,
yeah.
that's what it is. Yeah.
He
Mhm.
was wealthy and cynical, though, and as Emma, who was looking for a rich person, Rodolphe fits right in it. But little did she know he was not the man she was looking for.
Yeah, but like bring it back to beginning, like we want to reflect on some. Okay, the character of Charles, like we can say he is
Hmm.
kind of a positive character there, because he's a great loyal husband. He's a good person.
Hmm.
He's a doctor.
Hmm.
He helps
Hmm.
people a lot, and he
Hmm.
loves her a
Hmm.
lot. There are descriptions when she's doing something, like, there
Uh-huh.
are scenes when she's doing something, I don't know, reading book or any other activities or chores, home chores, and he observes her and he wants to admire her a lot. It's beautiful
Hmm.
description by Flaubert, but um, I think
Hmm.
um, she didn't want that. I mean, like Charles was not enough for her. He was too simple. Too simple. Like, okay,
Perhaps.
let me say some quote, but I am not sure that I will translate it perfectly. But I will give the sense, the main sense. Like he
Yeah,
said,
go
like
ahead.
the conversation with Charles was like a pavement, straight and flat like a
Ah.
pavement. So this similes, this simile, it shows like he was kind of he was a realistic
He was
person, yeah.
passive.
And he
Yeah.
was for sure he was not a romantic person.
I do believe like there are men who are perhaps they're they're good in life, they're wealthy, they're just like have their jobs, achieve their goals. But to understand women is not everyone's forte. You cannot. It takes like you have to understand a person, what his what his or her desires are.
Mhm.
Like he thought he's loving Emma, and he's giving her everything. He's providing house, he's providing money. Yeah, they have a kid, right? That daughter.
Yeah, the
But
daughter, yeah.
what Emma wanted was something else, and he was, I don't know, I should say it, but a little shallow to understand that. Emma was too deep for her, maybe.
Yeah, and that is something new in the 19th century. That's what I think. Like it was the moment when the women were perceived as a as I don't want to say that word, but yeah, as a human, right? Humans. Like we
Mm-hmm.
say, okay,
Mm-hmm.
it's not only one role. Exactly in this epoch of realism, women
Mm-hmm.
started to think of themselves, and there was a great, like, there is a feminism after that. Like, there is not only one world for women in the modern society of the 19th society. It is not only one role, like to be a mother and wife,
Mm-hmm.
and they wanted something more.
Yeah. I mean, come on, she wanted to enjoy life. I cannot disagree with her, right? But I, what's wrong in that, right? Nessie?
Yeah, and maybe it's yeah, exactly, and maybe it's not something's wrong with seeking this fulfillment
Yeah.
outside of marriage. Like, I think nowadays it's
Hmm.
something common.
That guy, Charles, was passive. Now, like passive in the sense of nurturing reactions, or not active, like mundane kind of person. And although I'm not saying he wasn't loyal or hardworking, he was, but he just couldn't understand Emma. That was the point, and it was both heartbreaking and tragic for her. And when she died, look at that. When she died, he didn't even know what happened.
Yeah, after that he got to know what happened exactly, and for the whole time he thought like she is happy. Of course, he noticed that
Yeah.
fact, like maybe she's sick, but you know about sickness, physical sickness, there must be some reason as well, or why she's always sad,
Hmm.
why she's always, uh, dive into her thoughts, and she's like away from him. He didn't
Hmm.
consider that
Yeah.
fact. So I think like, Emma's unhappiness in her marriage, it's something what generally happens, and um maybe if
You know,
yeah.
like generally these things happen, but when a person is not happy, so do you think there's a point to stay with that person when that person's not, you're not feeling to be with the person, right?
There is no
I mean,
sense,
you
but
just have
yeah,
one
okay,
life.
there is no sense, but I think like in the 19th century and even 20, and people just they got some chance to, and they were more patient about. They wanted to save this relationship instead of go through something else. I mean, like, it's
Mm-hmm.
a sense of therapy. Like you go to some psychiatrist or even some kind of therapy for couples, and that's what's
Yeah.
changed.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, people just they can split up and everything is fine. Okay, they can find another person. It's so easy to find another one.
No, no, it's not easy.
But they think like that, like it's so easy. Okay, this or
They,
that. What's the difference?
yeah, talking about generation from now, now, um, guys and girls, they change partners like they change freaking clothes, I believe.
It's a good thing, but it's true.
Like, yeah, you don't like it, it got stained, remove it. Get a new one.
Exactly. And that's what happened. Like, we don't have anything what is stable in our life. Everything is temporary.
Mhm,
And I don't want to say like Emma should stay with Charles and she shouldn't looking for someone else. I don't want to say that because I truly understand her.
mhm.
And I think
Yeah,
like it's what, their expectations of marriage and family, it's something what is versus for their own personal desires and aspirations. So she had really, really high expectations, but maybe it
yeah,
wasn't too high. Like she wanted to be loved in a way she imagined. Maybe it's wrong that
yeah.
she read a lot of books and she lived in a fantastic world, in some kind of, imaginary world. But what's wrong with that? We
Mm,
live in such a
yeah,
world as well.
yeah. And one more thing, I believe, like perhaps she would have been more outspoken about her desires, like the way she wanted to be loved. Perhaps Charles could have done that.
I think he wasn't ready for that.
Yeah, a little shallow person, right? Passive.
Yes.
But gentle though.
Hmm. But uh, we should consider the other side of that, like the pursuit of happiness. You know, like
Hmm.
Emma's
Yeah,
pursuit of happiness is a self-destructive.
yeah. It's self-destructive, literally. She went from Rodolphe to Leon and then to her grave, inevitably.
Do you think, Darkster, do you think like women nowadays they've got the same desire to have this romantic relationship? Do you think like women nowadays um they need romantic relationship or they need money much more? What do you think?
It's a debatable topic, but I'll still give my answer. Look,
Huh?
at the very first thing, I'll start with we're humans, right?
We are. Yeah, we
And
are.
yeah, we have desires, we have needs, and desires are satisfied by romance, and needs are satisfied by money. As for desires, you can have a lot of money, but desires is something which is hard to get. Like, um, money is important, I agree, but if you're not happy in your life, money is not gonna get you anything. I mean, look at this story that we're talking about. Emma, her husband was a doctor, so it's obvious that he was making a lot of money, right? But still, but
Yeah.
still, she was not happy. Why? Because she wanted something else. And I believe like every person has this desire to have a romantic life, I would say, that can like, satisfy them.
Mhm.
And yes, from women, from us, from this century as well, yeah, they do have that because we're humans, of course.
Yeah, I think her problem was also like, she stayed with Charles because she couldn't be independent, financial independent. And we can
Hmm.
say like this lack of financial independence contributes to her unhappiness as well. And
Hmm.
and yeah, nowadays women
Possibly.
are more independent, they even are so much, you can see see that, observe so many very, very successful women. But
Yeah.
what we know, like they are not happy at all. They cannot find a good partner because you never know. I
Mm-hmm.
can only imagine, like if I am a boss, if I am a very well-to-do person, like
Mm-hmm.
people that surround me, and I am surrounding by so many people, and automatically I have a question: why? Do they like me, or do they want my money? Maybe my influence.
Yeah. If you're wealthy, that's the first question that comes in your mind, comes in a person's mind, obviously. Like, this person that's in front of you, is he or she really into you, or they're into your money?
So what is the great drama of Emma Bovary? What do you think? What is her great unhappiness? Where is in her,
Mm-hmm.
in Charles, in society?
I think it was Emma. Like, in her, it was something that a part of her that was empty, that needed to be filled, but it wasn't filled by anyone, neither by Leon or by Rodolphe. Nobody could fill that void that was that desires everything. None of them. She had two relationships, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And out of marriage, but none of them was able to fill that void in her heart that she wanted to fill.
Yeah, and even if we assume another scenario, like she will be with some other guy, like Leon or Rudolph, we can say like,
Hmm.
where is the guarantee of happiness, right? We
Hmm.
don't know. Like sometimes this romantic life is only beautiful because it's temporary. It's only for in this hidden days, in this meetings somewhere in a great scenery. But in a real life, everything disappeared.
Mm, I don't know, like, it can be romantic as well in real life if they both are really genuine. If Emma had been a little bit more genuine with Leon, so perhaps her dying could have been prevented. She could have been with Leon and leave Charles, right?
Okay, but do you think um, is it possible to achieve this romanticism in a long-term relationship?
It is, as long as you're committed to it, as long as you want
So
it.
you need to find the person, right? The right person.
Yeah.
That's the point.
And the right person is something which is finding a needle in a haystack, right? It's like when you want, when you're looking, it's like, when you're looking for something and you will never find it. Let's take an example of your car keys. When you want it so bad, you won't find your damn car keys. And when you don't want it, it'll be lying around in front of your eyes.
Mm.
Same goes for the person. And yeah, it always happens when you least expect it.
So we should looking for a person who is shade for us. It's hard, It's
Yep.
hard, but it's achievable. I believe that,
It's achievable.
right?
Mm-hmm.
By the way,
Yeah, it's
hey, by the
achievable.
way, I have a
Mhm.
delicious coffee.
Oh,
Yeah,
really? Do you? Oh,
and I
God.
think we should end up this conversation in that point. Like, we should have a hope. Like, there is somewhere,
Hmm.
somewhere there is a
Some.
person paid for us.
Hmm. Who's shaped for us.
Yeah, that's the point. And we
Who?
can, yeah, we can
Yeah.
learn from another word that I don't know what. It's an open question.
Yeah. And there's always a person who's shaped for us, and is like always that missing piece of your life's puzzle. That piece, missing piece, can fit right in one day, and you'll be complete with that person.
And maybe we should be so much aware of some signs from heaven, some
From heaven,
some signs
nature.
from God,
Yeah,
like like
yeah,
warning signs. You should be much more aware and very, very uh patient about everything because everything comes with
yeah,
time. And you need to look for
yeah,
some signs. Okay, there is a sign. Okay, why I didn't go today? Because maybe tomorrow I will meet
yeah.
my lovely person in a train. Like for
And perhaps,
what a fate. What
yeah,
about fate? We can say it's about fate and some destiny.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, perhaps like God was preventing us from going somewhere as to prevent us from something, right?
Yeah,
Something ominous.
exactly. And wait, it's an interesting topic for another episode.
Ah, yeah, indeed. Indeed it is. We'll talk about it next time.
We will.
We will. Well, as you can sip your coffee up, and we can end this podcast afterwards.
Okay, so thank you for this
Mm-hmm.
conversation. It was nice to talk to you about
Thank
Emma
you.
Bovary. Yeah, thank you.
Mm. Interesting. It was. Pleasure is mine,
Yeah.
Nessie.
See you next time.
See you next
Bye.
time. Bye. Adios.